All right, step 3 in the home buying process is we need to get your home inspection ordered and your appraisal ordered. So I want to go over what both of these are and why they're important to you. First off is the home inspection. This is a general home inspection where somebody's going to come out to the house and they're going to inspect everything from the foundation to the roof and everything in between, all right? And they're going to look for things that jump out at them. For instance, they're going to look at the plumbing. They're going to look at all the electrical systems, the foundation, the roof, the structure, everything. So if they see anything at all that's out of sorts, they're going to make sure to note of it. Typically, they'll take photographs, and at the end of the day, they're going to provide you with a report. This is usually a very detailed report with dozens of pages that will outline everything that they found in that home. So health and safety things, however, are usually what we're most looking for. If we see nail holes in the wall or a scratch in the wall, you're going to be able to deal with some of those smaller things as well, but we do want to address some of the bigger things first. And when we do, we'll talk a little more about it in the future step. But we can either request that they repair the issues, give us a credit for those issues, or give us a price reduction for those issues. So we'll talk about that more as we move along in the process. But ultimately, this is done so that we can find out if there's any issues. Sometimes what might come up too is there might be something with the foundation. While the person who's there is the general home inspector, we might need to have a foundation specialist come out and look at the foundation issues, or we might need a plumber to look at the plumbing issues, or the electrician to look at the electrical system. Bottom line is sometimes you have not only initial inspections, but you have follow-up subsequent inspections to get a little bit more clarity on things. The second part of this step is that we need to get an appraisal done. And the goal of the appraisal is that we want to make sure that the home is worth at least what you're paying for. The second part of this step is that we need to get an appraisal done. And the goal of the appraisal is we want to make sure that the home is valued and worth at least what you're paying for. It could always be worth more. That's never a problem. No one's going to complain about that. But the bank wants to make sure that you're paying $1 million for a home, for example, that the home is worth $1 million. So that they're loaning you based on the actual market value of the home. So if we run into a scenario where it appraises at $1 million or above $1 million, everything is good. If it happens to appraise below the $1 million price point, then that's what we're contracted to help you with. So we're going to enter into negotiations about that price point. For example, in this scenario, if it ended up being worth only $950K and we're contracted at $1 million, we have a $50,000 spread, and there's a few different things that could happen. One, you can say, I don't care that the appraisal came in low. I'll cover the 50 grand difference. You could also say, hey, seller, it came in at $950. You need to drop your price to the $950 range. Or commonly what happens is we negotiate. We end up with something in the middle price range. At the end of the day, there is no set rules about what happens here. This is all negotiation. At the end of the day, it is our job to help ensure that appraisal comes in at the purchase price we contracted for. So we'll help you, and we're going to help the appraiser understand the comp analysis we did, what we were looking at the time, and where the market was, and why we made the offer on the home. So hopefully that appraisal comes in at or above the value we were looking for. So now we're going to move on to the next step. That is step 3 in the home buying process.